Hello, in this video I will explain how to create a form and publish the form using single action module. First I go to the admin panel and then I go to the entity page. I create an entity called products, and the entity must have some attributes or property like name. The data type is a string, the length is 250. Price, the type is decimal, and the length is 2. Both of them are required, and another property is count. The type is integer, it's not required, and the description. The description is a string, it's the max. The length is max. When you let it alone, the Easy-Bpm put max on the string. So I will save that, and as you can see, Easy-Bpm create a real table for each entity, and this is bpms underscore products. So I go to the application page and I create a form called products, and the group is general as a default. I go to the product, I add 2 rows. In the first row I put a button widget. I name it add new product. The color is Danger and the type is button, and I save it. I delete 2 redundant column and I change the size of the column to 12, and I put a datagrid widget, and I go to the setting and go to the binding. Before that I name it list of products. I go to the binding, the column, you can set the column of the data grid. The first column is name, the second is price, and when you want to add another column you click on the template, new column template, and it's count, and the last one is description. And you can set bootstrap classes into the column. So I put text center, and the sort column is name. So show in the report, if you check it, it will be displayed in the report or export. Easy-Bpm make a default export to the PDF and Excel, and you can put the field name of the entity like price and name. This is the field name of the table. This is the count. And the last one is description. So I need to add a variable. So the variable, I clicked it on the new and I call it var products. The variable type for data grid and drop down and checklist box should be a list, and the type is entity, and I select products. So I save it and I click on that, and I check Excel report and PDF report, and sort type is ascending, and the default sort column is name. And I will check paging, I will save that. So I go to the products page inside DNN. I will add a single action module to this page. As you can see, setting is not complete, so I go to the setting of the module, and I go to the last tab, so I can select between workflows and application pages, which is forms, so global forms. So I will select the products page, and if your DNN skin has a bootstrap or jQuery, you don't need to check these things. But if your skin doesn't have a bootstrap, you have to check this. And I update that, and as you can see the data grid and the button. So I need to add a new form, so I click on a new, and I call it add edit product. So the group is general, and I save that. I go to the design and I add 2 rows. In the first row I will add 3 input, and in the last row I will add first I will change the column size to 12, and I will add a seek editor widget for description. In this form a product can be edited or added. So description. Okay, I made a mistake. First the first input is name, it's required. The second one is price, and the type is money, and it's required. And I can change the font to the money. And the last one is count, and the type is only number, and it's not required, so I let it go, and I will save the form. So after that you can add you have to save the data inside a variable. So you can add the variable from this, or you can go to the setting of a widget and go to the click on this icon and click on a new and add your variable. I call the variable var product. The type is entity, and so in this place I will add a query, var query. So I put a condition id equal to @param id. This is SQL parameters, so we have to send this parameter to this query. So I will show you how to do that. First I put a condition and say that retrieve the product that its ID is equal to param ID. So I will save that, and I select name, and in save into I will select name. So the variable will get from variable product and dot name and var product dot name for saving. And I will do that for the price. I will select the name property, the price property. I remove that, I select price property, and I will select the count property. I will do that for the description. Get from is for retrieving and saving to for storing data inside a variable. And you can assign variable to entity or query. In the processes, you can assign variable to entity, property, and a local variable. And I will save the form. Oh, I forgot to add a button for saving form. So I will change the size of the column to the 6 and this to the 2. I will add a new button. The type is submit. For saving, the type should be submit. And the color is good. It's finished. Save, and I go to the products again. When a user click on an add new product, I want to open a pop-up for editing or adding that product. So you can define height of the pop-up. So I put 600, and the width could be default and there is no need. Okay, I will save that, and I will save the form. As you can see, when I click on that, a pop-up will be shown, but the size of the pop-up is a lot, and I change it to the 500. That's good. And I want to refresh the data grid after saving a product. So I should put that code inside callback function on a button. So in the operation, I will select this form control.get.update items, and inside this I'll have to put the ID of the controlled or widgets. The list of product widget, which is a data grid, is that. So after saving a product and closing a pop-up, this will be called. And I will save the form, and as you can see, I can click on that. So I have to change it to the add edit product. Excuse me, I forgot. I save the form, I go to this page, and as you can see, when I click on add new, I can put the name, test, the price is 12, the count is 2, and the description is test, test, test. And I will save the form, and I have to close the form. So I go back to the data grid of the products page, because I want to add a edit column. So I will add a new column, but this new column is open form. The title is update. The class name is text center. Don't show it in a report. I click on edit and I will add updates. So open add edit product, and the size, the height is 500, and send a parameters. So as you remember, in the where condition we put id equal to a param id. So we will send param id to that variable, to that form. When you open the form at edit product, Easy-Bpm will send param id as a parameter to that form. So get data for param id from the field, and the field is id. And I will save that. I go back to the form, and as you can see, when I save the form, as you can see, it will be updates. And I go back to the add edit product form, and I change the label of the button to the save, so it's much more better. So I will refresh that again. You can scroll down and you can change the price to 140 and save, as you can see. And you can export your table, your data grid, to the Excel or PDF. I will show you the PDF, and this is the result. And maybe I need to add a new product, like the price is 12, the count is 6, the test. And after saving, you can see, and the sort column, as you can see, is on the price name count. And if in the products you remove the sort column from this, there is no sort on the description. This should be equal, the sort column should be equal to the field name of the database, of the table or entity. It should be equal to the property of the entity, or maybe attribute of the entity, and it has to be equal. But it could be different, the name of, I can set name of, and I will save that. As you can see, this is the label of the column. So this is the end of the video. In the next video, I will explain more about entity and different type of variable and other things. Thank you for watching this video. Bye.